You've got lots of real estate questions. Should I downsize? What improvements do I need to make before I sell? What will Connecticut's real estate market be like in 6 months? It's time for the Real Estate Show with Pat Civitella. He's got your answers. Call 203-333-9422. Now, here's your host, Pat Civitella.
Hello to everyone, and good evening, and thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Pat Civitella, over 35 years experience in real estate investing game, and this show is about creating long-term wealth through real estate investing and producing passive and residual income in the real estate business or real estate investing. I'm going to share with you the knowledge and offer some guidance and inside information most people are not aware of. I can also show you how to develop and generate a secondary or primary income through real estate investing. And on our show, we also talk about home improvement tips to increase the value and the best return on best return for your improvements. So I encourage everyone to call in. If you have any questions, call in early because the show does go by quick. The number here is 203-333-9422. Again, that's 203-333-WICC. And again, this one of my best advice is this show is brought to you by 1-800-Mr. Junker, our friends there. 1-800-Mr. Junker, junk removal made easy. They will take the good, the bad, and the ugly, and no need to do anything except point to what you want gone, either one or complete house or business clean out. 1-800-Mr. Junker is ready to serve you, serving Fairfield and New Haven counties for over 15 years. Please call our friends there, mention my name, Pat Civitella, on WICC, and you'll get 10% off your job. Again, that's 1-800-Mr. Junker, junk and cleanup removal. They offer same-day service. They are also hot tub removal specialists and also offer free junk car removal. Again, call our friends there at 1-800-Mr. Junker, and you'll be happy that you did. Okay, how to get a hold of me. I get questions and emails most of the times during the week. The best number to reach me at my office is 203-736-2484. My email is patcivitella, that's PATCIVITELLA @gmail.com. And you can also reach me through our Facebook group, which is called the Connecticut Real Estate Investors Group. If you have any interest in buying or selling real estate, residential, commercial, industrial, have any questions, concerns, feel free to call me. I'd be happy to help you any way I can and try to get the best deal for your purchase or for your sale. Again, it's 203-736-2484. We got somebody on already, Rich?
Yes, we do. We have Uncle Tony calling in.
All right, very good. We'll take that real quick, and then we'll get on to the show. Yes,
this Pasquale?
Yes, it is.
This is Uncle Tony. I've been buying and selling real estate, Connecticut, South Carolina, for years.
Yes.
And, you get a lot of these dumbass tire kickers that come up, and they want to nickel and dime you. But my experience has been the best way to get a good deal is to put the money on the table, and then I know that you're real deal.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
So you tell people to do that. If they're serious, don't be just kicking the tires. Get serious. Make money.
That's right. And don't
and then put the money on the table.
Talk is cheap, but money. Don't forget, talk is cheap, and wealth whispers. That's a new one that I'm going to add to my list.
I've been listening to your show for a few weeks, Pasquale. You do a good job, and Uncle Tony loves you.
Thank you, Uncle Tony. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Okay, ciao. Okay, so we're going to go right into what we have available this week. Shelton, we have one space available. We had two. We did rent the other space that we had available. We have the old beauty shop available near downtown Shelton, 600 square feet. If anybody's interested in that, please give us a call at our office. And then we're going to go on to what we go. Well, first of all, I want to take time and thank one of my colleagues here, Marietta Kammerer. Is that right, Rich? She has a show here on Saturday mornings, 9:30,
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
and it's Life Talk with Marietta here on WICC 600 AM.
Oh, actually, that's the Business Champion Show.
Right, I was just going to say, and she has it here on her card. It's called the Business Champion Show. Is that correct, Rich?
Correct.
I want to thank her. She had put it together this past Saturday, a nice event inviting my wife, myself, and we probably had about, 15 people, 20 people, including the mayor of Milford and his mom. And it was a great event. I want to thank Marietta again for that. And it was a great time for people to, I was able to share my story, and we were able to listen to everybody else's story about just life in general, life journeys, struggles, and so forth. So, again, I want to thank Marietta for that. I really appreciate it. My wife appreciated it. She liked it. It was a great time, and thank you for the lunch, too. I think Rich appreciated that.
The sandwiches are still good.
The lunch and the desserts. Okay, so this week we got our big 4th of July celebration. Is it this year it's 250, or is it? No, it's next year. It's the 250th anniversary, which is it's going to be like a big deal next year. 250 years.
No, actually, it's 2 years away.
Is it 2?
2026. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. 76. So I'm sorry, 2 years away. You're right. 2 years
I didn't
away.
have my calculator with me.
You're right. I'm glad you corrected me that. So looking forward for the 4th of July this year, and all the coming years too. And I just want to say it's great to be in America, and God bless America. Had a nice surprise yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday my mom came to visit because she had lost power there. She lives with my sister in Wallingford, lost power in Wallingford because they had so many trees down, Rich, and they're still without power up there in that section where my sister is. And she got right to work, Rich, and started making chicken cutlets, and she was making those. She was making those tonight, this afternoon when I got home, and I says, "Oh my God, they were so delicious."
Whatever leftovers we have in the fridge.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so continue on with the show. I wanted to bring up a few things before we get into some of the other details. I've had this note on my desk to talk about this on the show. Is I think we have to kind of re-educate people today. My point being is we've had an apartment for rent for the probably last maybe 36, 1 or 2 months, and we, on an average, Rich, we had probably 10 to 20 inquiries per day through either phone calls, social media, whatever it was. And it gets a little frustrating as a landlord that people don't understand the basics of how to go about getting a rental. And I'm going to talk about the old days and what people do today. First of all, my first advice to people, and this is all to do with respecting people's time and not wasting people's time. People just call in and ask 100 questions without reading the ad, without. My first advice is, if you see a place that you're interested in, the first step should be go do a drive-by. Go to the neighborhood, go to the area. Even though you say, "Oh, well, I know Bridgeport, I know this, I know where that street is." That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I know where a lot of streets are. But, if you're looking to rent a place, go there, look at the building, look at the outside, look at, whatever you can see, look at the neighborhood, see what's going on. What is the point of making an appointment like with a landlord or a real estate company, whatever? And then you show up, you don't like the outside, you don't even like the neighborhood or the street. To me, it's just like mind-boggling. It's like that would be the first step.
Well, that kind of goes along when you were talking about in previous shows with purchasing property.
Exactly.
Why go through with a realtor and you get that and you haven't looked at it and then go get there and you find out, well, gee, this is in a horrible location.
Exact same thing. But, and because today the rental market is so strong and there's so much competition, like I said, we were getting 10 to 20 inquiries a day. And it's just frustrating as a landlord. And then you get these people that call in and they'll ask you 100 questions, which if you read the ad or you saw the photos and you read the description, it would probably answer 90% of them. But people are just, or they without calling, they want to ask you a million questions over the your phone, your text messaging, and that's like it's like a disaster. And I just wanted to bring to people's attention is, number one, do a drive-by. If you like it, then go follow up the next step. The next step in our business is you have to fill out an application. We have to see, number one, who you are, what are your credentials, and also your credit report. Are you working, the whole bit. So you have to kind of do some homework, too. If you're new to the area, you don't know the area or the neighborhood, ask some of the neighbors or ask people you work with, or go to the local police department. Say, I'm thinking about renting a place on Main Street, 123. What can you tell me? Again, it goes back to common sense and basic that I think this generation just really, they want to do everything over the text. And it just frustrates me to no end, because it seems it's such a huge time waster, because people just, I don't know. Like they expect to rent the apartment over the text phone or through the computer. Sometimes
people just don't know how to have a conversation, to ask questions. They want to do it impersonally.
Yeah, and my point of bringing this up is, like, the old days is you like the place, you went and talked to the landlord, number one, and then if he asked for an application or whatever, you went to. And today it's even more important, because you have so much competition for apartments. Is you kind of have to do a sales job on your potential future landlord. Like, why should I rent it to you, Rich? Give me a reason why you're my best applicant.
I'm a tall guy and I can help replace light bulbs in the ceiling.
Right, but the point I'm trying to make is, you have to kind of do a little bit of a sales job in order to get, if that apartment you like, whether it's wherever it is, but it's just very, very time consuming, and that's why I wanted to bring up this subject, kind of just to get that out to people. Like, you have to do some just basic stuff on your own. Do the drive-by, fill out the application, get the credit report, and go as far as bringing all that paperwork into the either office or meet somebody. Don't just send it through the email, because when I get emails, I'm looking at all these emails. Everything looks good, but I don't know who it is. You know what I mean, Rich? Mm-hmm. I don't know who it is. I don't know who you are, what you are, where you're coming from. And it's nice always to put someone with that paperwork too, or even when you're talking on the phone or through the computer. Put
a face with the name.
Absolutely.
Put a background with the name.
And then credentials. Yeah, and then and then we go as far as you have to have the application, credit report, and you have to have proof of funds. Like, you have to have 2 months security, first month's rent, and when we ask just those 3 basic things, Rich, we lose about 80% of the people, because number one, they don't even want to go through those steps. For some, I don't know why. It's just a simple 1-page application. You print out your credit report today. You do it right on your computer, so you have that ready to go. And then show us your bank statement, or show us that you have the funds to do it. That way it feels like you're investing time into the right thing, instead of just, I'm hoping this person has all this, and it's again, it's just very frustrating as a landlord. You have to get all this stuff ready to go before you go see an apartment and so
You've probably run into people or heard stories from landlords that have had people that they maybe didn't have all the information they should have had, and then suddenly you've got somebody in there that, why did I rent to this person?
All the time, Rich. And then once we show the place, and then let's say they get on our list of being approved, we still do more homework. We check make sure they're working wherever they said they are on their application. Previous landlords, current landlords, we go through the whole bit, because we don't want to go through any hassles, because we provide a good apartment, a good product, and we want good people that are going to stay for as long as possible. Because turnovers are very costly in this business, and people don't realize. And that's why I always, since day one, I've always taken my time on renting a place out, because I'd rather wait a month or two and get a right person that's going to be there and be on time and keep the place nice and, be 100%. It's well worth the 1 or 2 months that you lose on waiting for the right person.
You'd rather have somebody that's reliable, that's going to be there for, say, 5 years or 10 years, versus having 10 people rent the same apartment every 1 year at a time.
Yeah, that place turns over every year or two. I mean, people don't realize, but time goes by quick. A year is nothing. People say, oh, this, that, and the other. Time is ridiculous. And then staying on the same topic, we also get a lot of people that do this that I've had always happen, that they'll ask you 100 questions about the place, either on the phone or whatever, and then they'll say, oh, by the way, do you take pets? Well, what kind of pet? I have a dog. Okay, I'll bite. What kind of dog? Oh, I got a big German Shepherd or Pit Bull or whatever. Save everybody time and tell people that up front. When you're calling on a place, that should be your first question is, do you accept pets? Tell them what the pet is, and then go. Because otherwise, you won't believe how many people, they'll go through all this, Rich. Oh, by the way, I have 2 dogs, 3 cats, this, that, and the other. It's just a big, huge...
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Exactly. I didn't realize the time yet, but we're going to take a little quick break, and then we're going to continue with the show.
Got real estate questions? Call 203-333-9422 and ask Uncle Pat.
Okay, welcome back to the Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Pat Civitella. You're listening to WICC 600 AM, 107.3 FM. All right, so I was done with my rant there about wasting people's time when it comes to rentals. I didn't thank my mom for cooking all those great chicken cutlets.
You mean she didn't give you a little something to bring in for a snack during the commercial break there?
Rich, I ate so fast and I had to get here early because I didn't have all my material prepared. I had because I like to get here early and prepare all my material and sit down and go through it. But they were delicious, and I apologize. I was going to bring you a couple of them, just kind of sneak them over to you. But next time. All right, so we're going to continue with the show. I'm going to give you a quick, I just printed this out this morning. This is a market at a glance. I do this probably every 2 or 3 shows. And this covers New Haven County and Fairfield County, and also the town of Milford. New Haven County, the days on the market is 25 days. So overall, the market is still very strong in both New Haven and Fairfield County. 25 days on the market. Average sale price for New Haven County is $470,000. Percentage of list price received, New Haven County is 103%. That means they're getting over ask. Inventory of homes for New Haven County is almost 1,200 homes. That was for New Haven County. Now for Fairfield County, days on the market just a little longer to 29 days. Average sale price for Fairfield County. This is a little mind-boggling. $1.1 million for average sale price for Fairfield County, and New Haven County is $470,000. Percentage of list price received, 104%. Again, getting over ask. And the inventory of homes in Fairfield County is almost 1,400. It's almost 200 more properties in Fairfield County compared to New Haven County. And then I'll do the breakdown of town of Milford. Days on the market is 20. Average sale price in Milford is $520,000. List price, again, is 100%, a little over 100%, and inventory of homes are 85. And these are monthly totals, by the way. This is the monthly totals. Okay, that was the market at a glance for New Haven and Fairfield County and the town of Milford. Just printed that out this morning. What do we have, Rich? We got somebody on?
We got our regular Mr. Boz with a food question.
Uh-oh. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it, Mr. Boz. How are you?
I'm squally. I'll be quick. The chicken cutlets, your mother frying them on top of the stove or doing them in the oven?
No, she fries them. I actually set up the grill outside. She fried them. Oh, they're delicious.
That's how you got to do it. That little bit of crunch. Oh, I love that. Nice and thin. And what about her meatballs? Does she fry them or do those in the oven?
Those will get fried, too. I made some of them a couple weeks ago, and I fried them because there's nothing like a good fried meatball. I don't care what you say.
Right, I agree. And eggplant, my wife does it on top, too. They fry it and then put it all together. I like it that way better, too, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
I'll let you go. Great show today. I told the call screener there, my buddy from Long Island, Laguwan, that I'd be quick. Thanks, Uncle
All right.
Pat. Great show.
Thanks, Boz. Thank you. Yeah, there's nothing like a good fried meatball or a fried eggplant. I remember years ago, this is going back probably about 30 years ago, when I was in the printing business, and we had a lot of clients in Bridgeport, and one of them was a pizza place. We had quite a few different pizza places. So I was making a delivery at the time, and he had just gotten done, Rich, frying all this eggplant. And it was like all over the pizza place. I mean, every table was full of eggplant. And you walked in, and I says, "Oh my God, this is like walking into heaven over here." And I said, he had it stacked up all over the place. It smells so good. I can still smell it to this day when I walked into that place. But nothing like a good fried eggplant. Okay, moving on with the show. People always ask me, and they say, "Oh, there's no deals. You can't find nothing." Well, I got one here that just popped up a couple days ago that I found. This is Rich. This is a single family in the Valley area, and they're asking a 2-bedroom. It's almost 1,000 square feet. Needs a little TLC, and they're asking $150,000.
Wow,
to me,
not bad.
Yeah, to me that's worth looking into. So I mean, there's stuff out there. You just have to be constantly looking for it. Again, this is just a single family home. This is not what I would do in any investing in, but I would recommend this, like if first time home buyers, and that you're set on buying a single family home. The interest, the principal in mortgage and interest and principal payments. I finally got that right. On let's say $150,000 with 20% down, your monthly payment's like $750.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Well, where you're going to get you can't get a 2-bedroom apartment for $750 nowhere.
No,
So I just wanted to bring that to my audience attention. So there is stuff out there, and if you want to know about stuff, you could call me at my office. But to me, this sounds like a great deal, and it's definitely worth looking into. Continuing on, I wanted to recommend. People always ask me, how to get started, what to start with in real estate investing, and I made a short list of probably the top 4 books that I read probably close to 40 years ago, and the number 1 book that I want to recommend, which probably 3 out of these 4 books, Rich, have nothing to do with real estate, but have to do with business principles and how to be successful or become successful in any type of business, really. But you could apply it to pretty much anything. Are they still available, or can you get them from like a library? Absolutely. This is the book I read probably 40 years, maybe more than 40 years ago. I was probably 18 years old. It's called Think and Grow Rich. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Phenomenal book. It's by Napoleon Hill. This is probably on my top 10, number 1 book. And I probably read this book every 2 or 3 years consistently because, with anything, you forget stuff just over time. But this, I remembered distinctively. I was probably, I don't even think I was 20 years old, Rich, and I read this book, and it really changed my whole perspective and thinking, and it's basically, it's all about believing in yourself. And there were so many great things in there, and I really got to write them down because some things come to my mind real quick, but it's a huge amount of great information. And Napoleon Hill wrote this book, if I'm not mistaken, probably in the 1920s or earlier. And this is probably, I'm not sure, I haven't checked it, but it's still probably one of the best business books out there that was ever written. And it's almost over 100 years old. If he wrote it in 1920, it's, we're 2024, so over 100 years ago. And everything that he wrote back then still applies today. And the number one thing is if you have to get your thinking straight, and you got to get your mind straight before you start any type of endeavor, whether it's real estate investing, whether it's any type of business, even if you want to be the best successful radio producer or radio show, whatever the case may be. This book I would recommend to everybody. The next book on my list would be Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is written by Robert Kiyosaki. This is a great book. This is more geared towards real estate. And number one reason I love this book, too, because it relates to my childhood. When I read this book, I'm thinking, oh, my God, I thought I was reading a book that I had written, because it was about playing the game of Monopoly and so forth. And I couldn't believe it. So that book I definitely recommend to anybody who's really serious about real estate investing is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Definitely got to get that, read it. And then these books, you have to continually reread them, because, you pick up. It's just like, I don't know if you know this, Rich, but like if I watched The Godfather probably 100 times, every time I watch it, I pick up something new. Right? Does that happen to you on a movie?
Well, I do that with a TV show. I'm a big fan of the old Leave It to Beaver.
Oh, I love that.
And I will watch that, and I've gotten to where I know a lot of the dialogue, but sometimes something will show up, and I go, I watched this episode 5 or 6 times, and I didn't realize that.
Absolutely. And like I said, same thing. I love watching The Godfather, and every time I sit down and watch it, I says, I don't remember this last time. But so the point being is you have to read these books over and over, or listen to. You could get all these books now on tape. You could listen to the audio book, the whole bit. But those two are my top two. Definitely recommend if you want to get started in improving yourself and getting into business. I didn't realize that time. First of all, I got to say I have to give a shout out to my granddaughters, Mia Civitella and Juliana Rosa. Big Pop loves you, and hopefully you guys are still there when I get there. And remember, buy assets, not liabilities. Pay yourself first. Remember, you make a living from 9 to 5, and you become financially independent from 5 to midnight. Always stay positive. It's hard to soar with the eagles if you keep hanging around with those turkeys. All right, and buonasera a tutti. Alla prossima settimana. Thank you for tuning in to The Real Estate Show with me, your host, Pat Civitella. God bless America, and everybody have a great 4th of July, and we'll see you next week. I'm going to have a guest next week, on via probably either Zoom or telephone from Omaha, Nebraska. All right, thank you, and have a great night.